Zulu, weather, wind, calm, visibility 10, clear, below 12,000, temperature 1 Celsius, dew point -8, altimeter 2985. Heber City, Russ McDonald Field. Automated weather observation 1542. Zulu, weather, wind, calm, visibility 10, clear, below 12,000, temperature 1 Celsius, dew point -8, altimeter 2985.
Alright, wind calm 2985, temperature's coming down. So radios are set, flight instruments. One needs to be updated. That one looks good.
Yep.
Altimeter set, transponders on altitude mode 1200. Lights are good, parking brakes off. And we can go ahead and check brakes and steering. So,
alright, so
controls.
all seems good.
Alright, my controls real quick.
Controls.
Alright, mine's looking pretty good. And we'll continue taxi now.
Alright, my controls.
Your controls.
We are clear on the left. On the right.
Alright, that windsock looks dead. This windsock's picking up just a hair.
This is the pre-crisp flying cool down maneuver. Cool.
We flew the other plane when we did stalls, right?
I don't think we did any stalls in a Juliet Delta.
Gotcha.
We've done tons in this though.
Okay. We're gonna do one more.
Perfect.
Today. At least.
Are clear on the right. All right. Which one is squelch? Is it this one?
The big knob.
Oh.
And that way is more, this way is less.
Testing, 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 testing. There we go. Okay. Parking brake set, but we're not doing that in this aircraft. Fuel selector ball. Elevator trim back to neutral.
And with the parking brake, it's supposed to be used when you don't have chocks or tie downs or whatever.
Okay.
That's when you would want to use it. But if we're in the airplane, just physically hold the brakes. If we're getting out of the airplane, just put the chocks in. There's almost no reason to use the parking brake.
Okay. Flight controls. Looks good. Rudder looks looks good, our elevator. Bueno. Mixture full rich. On throttle to 1700. Magneto check. Right check. Good. Left check. Good. Car beat. Little dip. Suction is high a little bit. Not much, but a little bit.
Yeah, when the engine is really, really cold, the pump works better. And so we'll just kind of wait for that to warm up.
Engine gauges, fuel, oil temperature still waiting to warm up a little bit. You set the altimeter, ammeter. Speedo heat on, dropping amps, speedo heat off. Back to idle. You want to go back to 1,000 or 1,000, right? Or 10,000? Sorry.
So usually when you go idle, if it's really, really cold, it's gonna try to cough like it was.
Right.
So I'll usually, if it's cold still, I'll keep it up to about 13.
Okay.
And then check the idle when it gets up into the green.
Okay.
When it gets a little bit warmer.
Friction lock. Just fine. Flight instruments, this was set. Speed is showing accurate, attitude indicator's accurate. Vertical speed indicator's accurate. Okay. Takeoff data, checked and briefed.
That's your takeoff distances.
Okay. Parking brake off, transponder 1200 alt, which is already on. Emergency brief. So in the case of an emergency, if we have runway left and there's an emergency on the runway, we're just going to taxi away safely. Even if we take off, if there's plenty of runway left to land, because we're at a very long runway, we will also attempt to land. If there is no runway left, we will find somewhere to ditch, empty field or something like that, the highway if necessary. Above 800 feet, we can do the impossible turn and come back and land it. In the case of an emergency, we're going to crack our doors open right before landing to make sure that if we do get in a crash, that we don't get pinched and stuck in the aircraft here. That's it for the emergency brief, right?
Yep.
Okay, windsock check again.
And if you can't see it, you can listen.
Altimeter, okay. 985. Heber City, Russ McDonald Field. Automated weather observation. 1550 Zulu. Weather. Wind. Calm.
Okay. Wind calm. So. Your flaps are up. They are. Car be cold. All right. Let me close this thing now. Now that my left side is thoroughly frozen, as it should be. All right, we're back in the green.
Yep, and now go ahead and do an idle check real quick. Full idle for at least a couple seconds. There you go. And then you can do what you need to.
All right. Final check. Traffic is clear. Heber traffic, Skyhawk 84717 to depart runway 22, departing north. Heber traffic. Do another visual check. Looks good. You're on. Looks clear to you?
Yeah, I'm not seeing anybody.
Okay.
Nobody down at the other end.
mix, flaps up.
Airspeed's alive, gauges are still in the green.
Things looking good, 60 rotate. A little more. Set the nose for climb 90 for VY.
Got a bird just off to the right.
Yep.
If you ever encounter birds like in your way while you're doing stuff, you have to go somewhere around them, it's better to go up than to go down. Their natural reaction is to dive away from predators.
Gotcha.
So if you try to go below, they're gonna...
Okay, still climbing at 90. We're reaching, approaching turn. Do a shallow turn here to the north. Ooh. Bumpy.
There's that wind.
Yep.
We are blocked by the mountain. Let me do what I want to do. So you gotta tell it.
Yeah, I'm trying. Fly level for me, come on. What altitude are we shooting for?
We just need to be able to get over these mountains, and then when we get over to Camas, we're going to descend down to 7,500.
Okay. go straight and then right, we're probably clear, so I should pull back throttle and do level.
You don't have to pull back throttle.
Okay.
You can just lower the nose.
Okay, and just pick up speed instead.
Yep, just pick up speed, that way we can get there.
Put you where I want you.
You can't finish your trim unless the airspeed's not moving anymore.
Gotcha.
So that's why you're like, okay, I'm done, and then all of a sudden it starts climbing, is because it's still trying to speed up.
There we go. A little bit of a turn towards canvas. Matter if we shoot straight across or if we follow the road? Shoot straight then.
We don't have no rules up here. There ain't no stop signs.
Boy, that crosswind is really taking us this way.
Yep.
I'm going to aim, try to adjust.
So we are physically going about 95 knots. We have like a 20 knot crosswind, or a 20 knot tailwind right now. So that'll be awesome for the ground reference. They'll be all over the place.
Yeah. Trying to aim the nose to crab it, so we're kind of coming in on this line here.
Okay.
That road. That's about right.
Alright, then we can go ahead and start descending down to 7,500 as well.
Full power back. Back 2,000. Pitch the nose up a little bit. Start slowing down. Because I imagine we don't want to do ground reference maneuvers at 120, right? Good?
No.
Okay.
About 90. That way we're well below maneuvering speed. We're still at a good speed to hold level flight. We know what power setting gives us level flight.
Delta traffic, Delta Utah, Duke 15 Foxtrot, Mike, we're 20 miles to the north, descend out of 12, Atlanta 17, Delta.
Delta traffic. That's like 80 miles southwest of here. And we're still getting them on radio.
Not really descending. I'm going to pull power back further.
Yep.
Go all the way back to 1,500.
Because you were at about 2,000 RPM, right?
Yeah.
And we were at 90 knots?
Yeah, so we're holding level flight. Right. I'm going to keep... If I pull back 15 and I'm trying to descend, what airspeed should I be aiming for?
There's no goal. It kind of depends on the situation. If it's turbulent, you want to be below maneuvering speed, which is 122.
Okay.
And it kind of depends on our weight, but I think for us it's like 109. So you want to be below that turbulent air. Does it really matter? No. because you're just trying to descend. However, once you get to your altitude, we know that if we just set the power at 2,000, slow or speed the airplane up to 90, it should hold 7,500.
Right.
We kind of have to lead it off a little bit. So once we get to about 7,600 or so, start adding in the power, and that way by the time the airplane actually figures,
we don't sink below it and then try to catch up.
Yeah, that way the airplane, once it figures out that you're trying to hold level flight, it's already at 7.5.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that.
Fantastic. Too bad we're not going anywhere.
Ah, yeah. Dang it. Trying to get back to Heber's gonna suck.
Now it's gonna take forever. Okay, so before we run into it, 76 is what you want me at?
Holding altitude at 7.5.
Okay.
But once you get to about 7.7, 7.6, start adding a little bit of power.
There we go. Keep the nose down. Pitch for 90. All over the place.
Just a little bit more power. All right, and my controls real quick.
Your controls.
I want to show you what's called a wind circle.
Okay.
So you have the airplane all set up. I'm going to tighten up the friction just a little bit.
Okay.
We're going to do just a circle, pretty much holding airspeed, holding altitude. And we're looking at our ground speed. Ground speed's slowing down. That means we're going more into a headwind, which we already know that. If we look at our ground track, we're going that way.
Yep.
We're going 90. So you can tell, that's how you can tell which way the wind is going.
Gotcha. As long as you have something to tell you what your ground speed is.
Yep. And also kind of your ground track. We're going 90 and now our ground speed is 40. That's depressing.
Yep.
Okay. Alright, so now your controls.
Okay, my controls.
We do want to enter somewhere on the downwind, so we might even just go full throttle, go that way for a little while, and then come downwind and enter a point.
Okay.
And we'll start with a turnaround to point. The reason you enter on the downwind is it's just formality.
Okay.
Just to make it so that you're doing it
consistent every time.
Proper way. And also, your first turn is going to be steep bank angle. In this kind of wind, I would expect maybe a 45-degree bank in order to hold a position.
Okay.
And then roll out. Now we're doing 0-degree bank just to get far enough before we crank it around.
Okay. There's full.
Hold the nose down so that we actually pick up airspeed.
Okay.
And so that we're not climbing.
Woohoo! strong of gusts and turbulence, it'd be already being pitched 45 and rolling over?
Yeah, but that's why we do the upset recovery training in the Super D. All you have to do is just get to the nearest horizon. So if it rolls you over and now you're facing this way, you just keep the roll going around to the nearest horizon. Making sure that you're keeping up your airspeed during maneuvers and stuff. Alright, now I think if we slow down to 90, get back down to 75. We can turn around and pick a point before we go way down there too fast.
Okay. Trying to get 90 set. Well, good. Okay. Do we want to keep the RPMs at 15?
No, well, just to descend.
Okay. Right, because you want us back at
75 before we turn. We're only going 40 miles an hour. That's depressing. But with this wind, I reckon we can fly an airplane backwards.
probably.
We went into slow flight.
I bet.
Come on, airplane, you know, you want to descend, I know it.
Interesting, the vertical speed indicator looks like we're doing 500 feet a minute, but for a little bit the altimeter was just standing still.
And it could be pressure on the static hole,
Okay.
giving a weird indications. I bet you as soon as we turn that way, it'll jump up vertical speed-wise. Alright, now we're about 7,500. Go ahead and get that in. And as soon as we turn, the airplane is going to try to drop out from under us, so it's going to be hard to hold altitude. I don't want you to focus too much on holding altitude as much as the pitch attitude,
Okay.
for airspeed, and bank attitude for your point. Alright, now that we're at the other end of the valley, we can turn around and find a point. And actually, that little warehouse thing that we were using last time is probably going to be a good one. That way it's on this side. So kind of fly that way a little bit more, a little warehouse right over there.
Okay, yep.
We can use that again. Except use the tractor in the corner if it's still there. No, it's not. Use the green shipping container on this side.
Okay. Yeah, I need to fly away this way.
Yeah. Because as soon as we turn, we're going to book it that way real quick.
Okay. So are we doing around the point?
Yep.
Okay. I'm probably overshot here for that.
So do like steep bank, 45. Crank it around. Woohoo!
Oh, too far. start in a good position. Too much. LOL.
And now we're not trying to keep our wingtip on it.
Right.
Because now we have a huge crosswind and we're getting pushed away.
I'm pretty shallow right now.
Now that we've got the headwind. And now our altitude climbed up just a little bit. There we go, good deal. Probably just gonna have to fly straight.
Yep. Yep.
For a little while. And then when we go to turn, we're gonna have to keep it behind our wing because we're getting pushed and we wanna fly away that way. So right here, it's probably okay to have it right on our wingtip, but right here, it needs to start moving forward, or it needs to start moving behind the wingtip.
Yeah, I'm barely banked here and we're encroaching on it really fast. I feel like I need to be crabbed even further this way.
Yep. Sometimes that's what it takes. So we're not getting too close. I probably wouldn't even bank more than like 2 degrees and just get a slow, super slow turn rate.
Okay.
Alright, we're getting pushed closer.
Barely banked at all.
Yep. Sometimes that's, with this kind of wind, I wouldn't doubt that having level flight for most of it with a slight little kink here and there. And now we need to probably start cranking it around so that we don't get blown way too far. It coming, wing on the point now, wing coming, or point going ahead of our wing right now.
Points ahead of the wing.
A little bit more. A little bit more. There we go. Good deal. Maybe lessen up the bank because we're getting the headwind now.
We ended up pretty close.
So let the wind kind of drift us this way. There you go.
And we're like flying sideways right now.
Yep.
All right.
So that's how dramatic it can be.
Right.
All right. So let's fly this way.
Okay.
Well, let's go full power, pick up some speed, we'll get away, and then we'll do an S-turn across the road that's coming this way.
Okay.
So we'll loop around and then we'll start the S-turn coming this way.
On this road right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So just hold the nose down. We can start slowing down so that we're not too fast for turbulent air. Pitching down so that we're not losing 7,500. We'll start a little bit of a crab so that the wind kind of is pushing us that way.
Okay. Just your controls right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of hitting the airplane over there. Alright, so right there. Now we're pretty close to far enough away. We'll just kind of scoot our way that way. And then once we're ready to turn towards that road, so your controls.
My controls.
Yep. when you cross the road is going to be probably steep bank, 30, 35 degrees of bank. And then as you're pointing back towards the road, you're going to start lessening it out.
Okay.
20, 10, probably even 0. So let's just go straight right here. And then on the other side, you're going to start with like 0, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40.
Okay.
As you roll into that tailwind.
Okay, so we're crossing the road.
Now roll into like a 30. Look at how far the airplane's going to go away from, and watch your nose. We're pointed down quite a bit. Alright, now start rolling out because we're rolling into a headwind. Look how far away we are from the road.
Yep.
Slowly start rolling out so that we're not turning too sharp. A little bit more, just a little bit. There you go. By the time we cross the road, our wings should be going straight up and down the road.
Yep, straight up and down.
Okay, slight, not too much bank. We want to make sure that we get far enough away from the road. So slight bank. Yeah, so we didn't get far enough away.
I should have flown straight a little bit, huh?
Yep.
Should we just turn around and try again?
Yeah, let's go ahead and go that way. So yeah, the bank that you had on the last little bit of the turn, you should have mirrored that on the other side, but backwards. So start at 30, start rolling out 20, 10, 5, probably 2, and then you should have done 2, 5, 10, 20, 30.
Okay, I snapped it too far then right away.
Yep.
Okay.
And how drastic it is depends on how much wind there is.
Right.
And after this one, we'll head back.
Okay. Yeah, it's going to take us an hour to get back, so.
Ah, that ground track's awesome. Oh.
Yeah.
So maybe try 20.
20 degrees?
20 degrees on this side. That way we actually go far away.
Okay. Alright,
So,
it's parallel.
20 degrees. As you start losing that tailwind, as this number starts going down, start reducing your bank angle. Alright, now look at how far away we are.
Yep.
Slowly start reducing that bank angle. Our ground speed's going down in a hurry. 90, 80, 75, 70. And now look at how shallow our bank is and how long we're shallow.
That's pretty shallow for a long time here.
Yeah.
Oh, it picks me over.
And we were actually straight and level for a little while.
Yeah, well, I was trying to hold a little bit and then it...
Straight level, straight level.
Straight level. Okay.
And then once you look at the road and it looks like we're getting far enough away, you can start slowly easing in that bank. So that by the time you go,
it's gonna push me really fast right at the end.
Yep. Alright, so yep, looks like we're about as far as we were. So we're cranking the bank over. Slowly. Alright, now we're gonna get pushed into that road pretty quick, so 20 degrees bank. So by the time the wings cross, they're parallel. And boom.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad.
Now let's climb up and go that way. We turn into the headwind, it'll help us climb too, at a steeper angle. Yeah, that looks freaking awesome.
Yeah.
It is surprisingly smooth for how windy it is though.
Yeah.
Especially in mountain areas like we are. Surprisingly smooth. Let's try climbing at 73.
I'm gonna pull the nose up.
See how steep we can get it. Our climb, because our ground speed is like nothing. There's 73 or 45 knots. We're probably going faster sideways than we are forward.
Yep.
Alright. Now we can lower the nose back down. And at this altitude, we could probably just head straight to Jordanelle Dam, straight over to the ponds, so we can probably just pick up a little bit of speed. I do want to do a stall. Because we got the stall horn working.
Oh, fantastic.
I want you to hear what it sounds like so that you know kind of what's going on.
City, Russ McDonald Field. Automated weather observation. 1627 Zulu. Weather. Wind 150 at 12. Gust 19er. Visibility 10.
That's a good wind.
That's a good
Now, it is coming from the southeast, which means it's coming right over those hangars right next to the runway.
Okay.
So it's going to be turbulent as we come into the flare. So I'm thinking let's just flare after, land after those.
Okay, so just aim further down.
Yeah.
To avoid that wake turbulence.
Yep. And we'll just come in on a straight in approach so that we can get stabilized with our wind correction stuff, and I can show you what now we're at a pretty good altitude. We're in a pretty good spot if something happened. There's a couple of fields in front of us. We would be landing with a headwind if we landed that way, which is what we want. We could probably just like float this thing onto the ground like a helicopter with the wind. Probably even land it backwards.
So we got to get in the slope light first?
Get into the landing configuration. So we're going to pull the power back to about 1500. We're at a pretty good spot to do it now. Seabury traffic track 84717, 6 miles to the north of the airfield at 9,000 maneuvering. Slow the airplane into the white arc. We can get our full flaps.
Pull that trim off.
Point that way for me. So we're kind of still going towards the airport. There we go, and we're going directly into the wind. Okay, start getting all your flaps in now that we're in the white arc.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
A little bit too fast. There you go.
There we go.
Let the nose go down so that we don't get too slow right now. 1, 2, 3. Now we're at 20. 1, 2, 3. Now we're at 30. Alright. And then we're descending at 70, just like on a normal approach. We're going to start pulling back into the stall. There's the stall horn. So keep going. Pulling. There's your stall. Full power. Pitch for level flight. Take the flaps out. Slowly, not all the way up at a time. Just like so. Perfect. Alright. Now we're going to head that way, and we'll set up for a straight-in approach.
Okay.
And let's keep descending. Actually, no. Let's do a slight descent. Seabury traffic track 84717, 4 miles to the north of the airfield. We'll be setting up for a 4-mile final runway 22. Full stop. It's a good windy day, that's for sure.
Come on, baby. You know you want to drop.
Alright, once we get over to final, I'm actually going to have you just go into the full landing configuration.
Okay.
Get it trimmed for, and actually, so wind was...
Wind 160 at 12, gust 19er.
1-2 gust 1-9er, so there's a 7 knot difference between normal and gust.
Okay.
So we're going to add half of that to our approach speed. So 4.
4 knots.
So we're going to come in at 74 on the final
Okay.
approach. That way if it gusts and it doesn't get us too close to a stall.
Right.
Alright, so we're going to be aiming for the second taxiway on the runway.
Okay.
So where the second taxiway meets.
Okay, that's our landing point?
Yep.
Our aim point?
Yep. So now, slowly start going, transitioning us into landing configuration. Slowly start aiming us towards that runway.
1, 2, 3. Balloon up, try to keep it there. Still at 90, I'm gonna pull back a little bit.
And if you are below the wide arc, you can go full flaps.
Okay, so it's okay to go full flaps now?
Yep.
Full flaps,
Just so we have more time. And so my control, I want to show you the process for maintaining center line and everything during crosswind.
Okay.
And I'll give it to you when we start getting a little bit closer.
Okay.
So we want to use a wing low method.
Okay.
So one of the ways we can do it is we could just weather vane into the wind, except now we're coming in and we're crooked and the landing's going to be interesting, right?
Right.
So the way we want to do it is we want a rudder to keep the nose straight, aileron to keep the center line. So I am full rudder right now. And it's still not enough, so I'm actually going to land with, going to have you do it with 20 degrees.
Okay.
And come in a little bit faster so that our rudder is more effective in keeping the nose straight.
Okay.
And if I'm a little bit on this side of the center line, a little bit more aileron to get us over. A little bit less. And then there's your wind correction. And we want to try to land when we're flaring on that tire.
Okay.
Okay? So that's kind of the process. And I'm actually going to do a circle so that you can get a little bit more set up.
Okay.
And so that we can lose altitude so we're not having to come in so steep.
Okay.
That's looking a little bit better. Okay. Alright, your controls.
My controls. I'm going to left aileron and right rudder.
Yep, and I was full right rudder. There you go. As you get closer to the ground, the wind's going to get lighter and lighter, so you're going to need less rudder.
Okay.
We're just trying to keep the airplane straight down the runway. A little bit more aileron to get us onto center line. There you go. Power to make sure our altitude looks good, pitch to make sure our airspeed looks good. A little bit more aileron. A little bit more, a little bit more. There we go. And if at any time you don't feel right about it, you can do a go around or you can hand the controls to me. flying at that point.
Right.
And our airspeed was just a little bit too high to let the airplane touch down.
Gotcha, so pick this up.
Yeah. Then we'll do it right downwind, because that wind, usually when there's a high wind like this, it comes down over the mountain and kind of pushes us down.
You want me to call it?
What's that?
You want me to call traffic?
There's nobody flying.
Okay.
I haven't heard one soul on the radio other than the Delta guy. That Delta area traffic guy. Gas, undercarriage mixture, power, seatbelt, speed. Start slowing the airplane down. Maybe even land with no flaps or just 10 degrees. I'm just going to land with no flaps. Airplane's a little bit more controllable. We can get it a little bit slower. Use flaps to help get me down because I'm a little bit high, and then I'll take them out on short final. We were way slow and it still picked us up. Alright, so right now I'm full left aileron to help keep that wing down if it decides it does want to try to fly again. Air traffic, Skyhawk 84717, clear of runway 22. Alright. That was interesting. So that's kind of what it takes to do crosswinds. Let's see, dive away from the wind if it's hitting us on our tail. Do you have any questions about what I was doing on that landing?
No, it all made sense, and I feel like I was trying to do the same thing, but when we landed and all three wheels were on the ground, I just kept holding the same back pressure, and as you felt, even really slow, it picked us up, and that's where
it just started. And
yeah,
that landing we could have stuck with. However, we just started going
veering off to the right.
further right, a little bit faster than I felt comfortable with.
Yep.
That, like, technique-wise, that landing was really, really good. Where it went wrong, I don't know. I think it was just the airspeed that we had coming down. I think that was the only thing that kept us bouncing along.
Right.
And in that kind of situation, just I feel like when the airplane touched down, you're like, okay, we're good, but we're still flying at that point. So just keep the if it's still flying, ideally we want to come down, and we don't want to touch until the airplane is basically stalled.
Right.
In a crosswind, you have to come in a little bit faster to keep your controls effective, which is kind of the right way to do it, but it kind of sucks because you're going to come in and bounce like even I was doing.
Right.
So that landing was awesome. Touched down on the one wheel, nice and soft.
How much were you helping that?
I was trying to help keep the nose down, so that we weren't slowing down too much, so that was a little bit of me as well. On the speed, and a little bit on the rudders, just to help keep the airplane straight, but the flare and everything, I wasn't pulling at all.
Decathlon 8050, Delta's taking a right 22 for departure. Will be your right cross on departure to the north.
Alright, cool.